The Las Vegas Raiders are in real trouble as a team. They do not have many good players. They've got Jacoby Myers as their top receiver. Who even is that guy? They have Geno Smith at quarterback. He's getting older. They definitely need help at that position. But the two bright spots on their team are Brock Bowers and the rookie Ashton Jeanty. The team is owned partially by Tom Brady, the greatest player in NFL history. What would happen if Tom Brady came out of retirement to play for the Raiders for only 3 more seasons? Well, in this retro video, that's what we're going to see. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Now let's get into it. Geno Smith hasn't played a single down as a Raider in his career so far, but we are unfortunately going to have to trade him away to the Packers for a second-round pick so we can get some salary cap room. So this is now how our team's looking with Tom Brady, Ashton Jeanty, and a rookie DB that we added. The team has a 3.5-star offense and a 3-star defense. So we're a good team, but not incredible. I think we can make a run of the playoffs, but I don't know if this year is the year we do really any more than that. After negotiating with other teams for a while, I was able to trade Jacoby Myers for Jalen Waddle. I think this is a huge improvement to our team. This guy's fast. He's really, really good. This is Tom Brady's first game back after multiple seasons, but we surprisingly played very well against the Chiefs and won the game by 10. Our second game of the year against the Dolphins was not even close. We won this one 26-7. The Rams were our first challenging game of the year. It was tied at the end of the third quarter. They scored a touchdown, we scored a touchdown, but the Rams had enough time to kick a field goal and we just couldn't respond back. For some reason, the Bears wanted a first-round pick for our kicker, and this is just such good value for a player that's not going to bring much to our team, so I had to accept the deal. The Browns are seriously way too good in Retro Bowl. They blew us out. This game was 24-0 at one point in time, and it ended up being 31-14, I believe. This just a miserable game, and one of our receivers got hurt. A free agent linebacker wanted to come to our team, and he was basically there for free, so I accepted the deal. Next, we played against one of our division rivals, the Denver Broncos. This game was tied at the end of the third quarter. We scored a touchdown, and then they decided to kick a field goal. They didn't go for the touchdown on fourth down, and they weren't able to get the onside kick, so we won this one. The most random teams beat us every single game, and the Jacksonville Jaguars were the team that randomly beat us in this one. They were up 34-7 at one point in time, and this game ended up being 37-21. And then in the very next game, the exact same thing happened again. The Cardinals beat us 45-20. I decided to stick with the current team we had after the trade deadline, and it worked because we beat the Colts 24-13 in our next game. The Chargers were able to beat us pretty well. It was 14-0 at one point in time, I believe, and they ended up beating us 28-16, and our record dropped to 4-5 on the year. In our next game, we played against the Giants. This was a close game to the end. It was 28-24. We were up. Then they scored a touchdown, but we scored a touchdown. Brock Bowers did end up getting hurt in this game, but other than that, it was a great game. We won, and we have a winning record now. We played against the 49ers next. This game was not even close. We lost it 20-46. We played a very important game next against the Broncos. Jalen Waddle did end up getting hurt, but this was a really good game. We ended up being up 31-21 and ended up winning 31-28. The Chiefs put us back down to a tied record. We were 7-7 after this game. They blew us out in this one 41-13. Our next game against the Texans was a really close, really good game. It was 23-21 at the end of the third. We were up, but the Texans took a 6-point lead. We were able to score a touchdown, and we made the extra point, which won us the game. We surprisingly are a playoff team, and this next game against the Titans was a game that went into overtime, but we were able to score a game-winning touchdown, and now we're 9-7 on the year. We made it to our final game of the season against the Chargers. If we win this game, we're in the playoffs. If we lose, we'll most likely miss the playoffs. This game was 35-28 at the end of the third. The Chargers scored a touchdown to make it a 2-score game. But we were able to score a touchdown on fourth down. We even got an interception, but weren't able to score on the last drive. So we lost 42-35 and unfortunately missed the playoffs. Tom Brady had an all-right first year back in the NFL. He had 4,928 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And NFL Retro Bowl 25 stats are a little bit inflated. So this is just about an average season for an NFL quarterback. Our young defensive back, Darian Porter, is pretty upset with the team, so we decided that we needed to trade him away. He didn't want to stay with the team, but nobody else wanted him, so first I had to boost his morale, and then I was able to ship him off to Cleveland. I also traded away Chandler Wooten to the Falcons. With one of the 2 first-round picks I have, I decided I was going to take Deshaun Holtz, the defensive back. I know I just said that Brock Bowers is one of the bright spots on the team, but I saw Drake Longa, a rookie tight end, and he seems like he's even better than Brock Bowers. So I traded Brock Bowers to the Buccaneers for a second-round pick and picked Drake Longa. None of the second-round picks seemed like particularly good players, so I traded all of them away and drafted Clifton Beavers, the linebacker, in the 3rd round. In our first game of the season against the Bills, we were down 21-0 early, but we were able to make the comeback and give ourselves a chance to win the game, but we weren't quite able to. We didn't get the ball to end the game. The 49ers then offered us a trade where we gave them a 3rd-round pick for their kicker, and so I decided to take it. We played against the Patriots next, and we were able to win in a blowout 29-9. In our next game against the Broncos, we were up 19-17, and it didn't really seem like either team wanted to win the game. We missed a field goal, then they missed a field goal. We got the ball, we threw an interception, and they were finally able to score a touchdown and win. Next, we played against the Falcons, who were undefeated at the time. We were down by 10 going into the 4th quarter, and we weren't quite able to make the comeback, even though we scored a touchdown. We played against the Browns next. The Browns blew us out last year, I'm pretty sure, and this game was also not even close. We lost 33-16 and dropped to 1-4. In our next game, the Panthers were beating us 27-10 at halftime, and we weren't able to make the comeback and ended up losing. We were playing against the Colts next. We were up by 1 going into the 4th quarter, and we let up a field goal. We were down by 2, but we scored a touchdown, got a 2-point conversion, but the Colts were able to score themselves, and we didn't have a chance to score a touchdown to make the comeback and win. In our next game against the Buccaneers, we took a pretty rough 36-22 loss and dropped to 1-7 on the year. We've had 1 win all year and we're at the trade deadline, so we need to make a big move, if not multiple big moves, in order to become competitors. So the first thing I did was I traded one of our defensive linemen, Christian Wilkins, for a linebacker from the Patriots, Juwan Bentley. I was not able to make any deals for any players I wanted on the defensive side of the ball other than Juwan Bentley, and I felt happy with our offense, so I decided I was just going to roll with our team and finish off the rest of the year. The Cowboys were up 20-10 late in this game. We were able to score a last-second touchdown and make it look closer than it was, but our team is still not really improving a ton. We secured a losing record for our team in the next game by losing to the Chiefs 23-3. We finally snapped our 8-game losing streak against the Saints by scoring a last-second touchdown and making a great comeback to win the game 28-22. Somehow we won against the Chargers in our next game 31-3. Our next game against the Chiefs was close to the very end. We were up 9-0. The game was tied 17-17 going into the 4th. We kicked a field goal, then we kicked another field goal, but the Chiefs were able to score a touchdown and we didn't have enough time to score a touchdown and win. Next, we played in a snow game against the Denver Broncos. This game was just a pretty average game. We ended up winning it 28-15, but we're 4-10 now, and it's pretty much too little too late. There's no way we're going to make the playoffs. Next, we played the Dolphins. We were up by 10 going into the 4th quarter, and we ended up winning this game 28-25. Next, we played against the Jets, and we lost this one 32-18. We ended off our year with a 37-17 win over the Chargers. This season was really disappointing. We could have done better. We went 6-11, but we had a great run to end the year. We went 5-2 in the last 7 games. Even though we lost a whole lot, Tom Brady had an incredible year. He had a 69% completion percentage, which I guess is just average, but he had 4,841 yards and 37 touchdowns, which is great, and he also only threw 2 interceptions. Our team was bad, and we only have 1 year left in this challenge, so I'm hoping that we can do something crazy because we need to win a Super Bowl. It doesn't seem like that's really going to be happening. We don't really have that much salary cap room, so I decided I needed to trade away Jalen Waddle to the Giants for a first-round pick in order to re-sign all of our young players. I traded away our young linebacker Clifton Beavers for a second-round pick so I could pick Frankie Jumper, the rookie receiver. Then I traded our kicker away for a third-round pick so I could select Justin Wilcox, the linebacker. I think we'll be able to make a massive improvement as a team because now we have a 4-star offense and a 4-star defense, which, from what I've seen, is pretty much Super Bowl level in this game. In our first game of the year against the Jaguars, we were able to put up 27 straight on the Jaguars to win 34-13. In our next game against the Broncos, we were up by 4 going into the fourth quarter. The Broncos missed a field goal. We threw an interception. Then the Broncos scored a touchdown. We did not have enough time to respond back. Next, we played against the Saints. This was a pretty good game for us. We ended up winning it 24-7. Next, we played against the Steelers. This was a hardly contested, close game. We were winning by 4 going into the fourth quarter, but the Steelers scored a touchdown. So we needed to clutch up, score a touchdown, win the game, and that's exactly what we did. Next, we played against the Bills. This game was not close. We won it 30-10. Next, we played against the Browns, and we were losing by multiple scores pretty much this entire game. We made the game look more competitive than it actually was, and the final score was 24-31. We were down by multiple scores pretty much this entire game against the Broncos, down by 10 going into the fourth quarter, but we were able to score a touchdown, got an interception, and scored a touchdown to come back and win. At the trade deadline, we're 5-2. I want to trade for a player to make our team better, but we don't have any salary cap room to do that. Like, we're literally at the salary cap. So I just decided I was going to stick with our team and keep going. Next, we played against the Bengals. The Bengals had the exact same record as us, but we beat them really easily 34-10. Next, we played against the Chargers. This was a very, very odd game. They were up by 14 early, but we ended up being in the lead going into the fourth quarter. A touchdown for each team and then a field goal for the Chargers made this game tied and going into overtime. We fumbled the ball, then they missed an easy field goal, then we missed an easy field goal, then they missed an easy field goal, and then we weren't able to score, which means this game ended up in a tie, which is just really, really weird. Next, we played against the Ravens, and this game was an interesting one. We were down by 4 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. We scored a touchdown, then they scored a touchdown, and we didn't have enough time to respond back, so this ended up being a loss. In our next game, we played against the Giants, and the Giants are the Giants. So I expected to win this game by a lot, but this game was close. We were able to hold the Giants off and win this game 24-20, though. Next, we play against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs might be the most annoying team ever. I thought that we were going to lose this game by quite a lot, and we did end up losing this game by quite a lot, but it was close pretty late into the game. The Chiefs ended up winning this one 41-28, though. Next, we played against the Eagles, another really, really good team, and they were beating us 14-0, but we ended up being only down by 1 about halfway through the fourth quarter because we missed an extra point. We were able to get the ball back and kicked a field goal to win the game. Next, we played against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys beat us really, really easily. They ended up winning 35-14. We played against the Chiefs in our next game, and this game went really, really well. We ended up winning 34-10. We're 9-5-1, and the Chiefs are 10-5. So we're getting really, really close. A win against the Commanders here would be really super-duper crucial, especially for playoff seeding, but this game is going to go down to the wire. We have a chance to stop the Commanders, but they do score, and we are not going to be able to score to win the game, which means this game's going to overtime. We were able to kick a field goal, and then we finally got a stop on the Commanders by getting a 4th down sack, and we won the game. A win here against the Chargers would mean literally nothing since the Chiefs already clinched the division, but we still were able to win this game just for some bragging rights and to say that we won the series because our last game against our rivals was a tie. We already clinched the 7th seed before this game, but now we're even more the 7th seed, and we're going to be playing against the 2-seeded Bills in our first game of the playoffs. We're in the last year of the challenge, so it is Super Bowl or bust. 1 loss for us, and this video is completely over, so I'm hoping we can be locked in and do really, really well against the Bills in the first round. For most of this game, the Bills were either tied or winning. We were down by 3 at the start of the second half. The Bills scored a touchdown. We were able to score right back, though, which was really nice. But then the Bills scored a touchdown right back, so we were down 31-21, and I decided to jump into the game. Jumping into this game, I realized how good our team actually was. I was able to lead our team down the field really super duper easily. Ashton Genty almost ran for the first down on the first play of the drive, and then he ran for a big gain on the second drive. I believe it was 33 yards. I guess it wasn't the second drive, the second play of the drive. You get what I'm saying, though. And then I was able to throw it short. I almost got sacked, but I was able to find the receiver open, and I was able to go for 17, and then after that, I threw it to Drake Longa, and he caught it, and we scored a touchdown, but I did, unfortunately, miss the extra point because we don't have a good kicker. Then I also went for the onside kick, but I didn't get it, which was pretty frustrating. We were able to force a punt. Our defense plays really super duper well, But we're still down by 4. We need to score a touchdown in order to win. I started off handing it off to Ashton Jeanty because I still feel like we've got time. And after a throw, we're making our way down the field. Jumper, the receiver, he's able to go for a good game here. And then I just hand it off to Jeanty again because I really, really feel like Ashton Jeanty is going to be able to get us down the field. I feel like we also have enough time, and I feel confident with our team. And we're now able to make a pass to our open receiver. But Drake Longa drops it, and we aren't able to score the game winner. But on the very next play, he does catch it, and the Bills aren't going to have enough time to respond, and we win our first playoff game 34-31. We're here in a low-scoring game against Baltimore. Baltimore scored a touchdown late in the third. We scored a touchdown, and then we got an interception, so I decided to jump in with about a minute and a half left. I can't believe that we're in a close divisional round game. I honestly thought we were going to lose this. But now we're here, we're in a close situation, and I am able to find Jumper. And he is potentially going to go all the way for a touchdown. It looks like he is. I just am really glad we're here, and it's looking very likely that we're going to make the conference championship. I go for 2, and I do get it, but the Ravens score. There's only around 30 seconds left. We're down by 1. We need to kick a field goal to win. I decided audible. I threw it up, and I threw an interception. That is just a terrible, costly play, and it looks like we're going to lose in the divisional round. And that right there is how this video is going to end. I brought Tom Brady back into the NFL, and it did not really go well. We lost in the divisional round in our last year, and in our first 2 years, we didn't even make the playoffs. So this was a crazy up and down ride, but I really enjoyed making this video. I really enjoyed recording this video. Hopefully you like the new style of rebuilds that I'm doing here on this channel. So thank you so much for watching this video, and, hopefully you like, subscribe, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh yeah, and the Ravens ended up winning a Super Bowl, so I really don't think we should be ashamed for that loss. Sure, Tom Brady's career ended pretty rough, but he did better than I expected him to, honestly.